Hey guys, welcome to WHIT Radio's Teen Forum, coming at you from High Tech High School in North Bergen, New Jersey. I'm your host, Natasha Komis, and this is my panel of real teens talking about real issues. On board today, we have Julia, Kayla, Michael, Sean, and Bria. And today we're going to be discussing the music industry and its positive and negative effects on the youth of America. Feel free to call in at 201-854-8224. And what's up, guys? How is everyone?
Good.
Great. Yeah, it's doing well. We're all doing great.
All doing great, huh?
Yeah, everyone has so much energy.
Yeah, I see this. I'm going to have to bring Red Bulls in next time. Is that allowed or what?
Yeah.
I won't tell.
No? Okay. I don't want to have a negative effect on you guys, but anyway, the music industry has always had a great effect on the public. Yet how it affects teens may have a bigger impact on how teens shape their lives. Do you guys think that expression has gone overboard? Are lyrics too provocative, explicit? Is the music demeaning? You know, is it sending out the wrong message?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think so?
No.
In a
Yeah,
negative way or a positive way?
More negative than positive. Well, depending on what other teens listen to. Because some listen to, I guess, like hip-hop and all that kind of stuff. But some, I guess, listen to something else.
Would you say that different genres of music have different levels of
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, let's say rock and roll versus hip hop. What do you think about that?
Hip hop's very
Yeah.
just in your face about what it wants to be.
Right.
Which is what?
It's as to some it's as vulgar as it can be, but to others they use it as an art form of what hip hop was originally originated from,
Right.
like poetry and telling a story and giving their side of life. So you're always going to find parts of hip hop where it's just like cursing and it's it's sending a completely wrong
Right,
message.
it
But if you can shift
depends.
through that, you can find like the real poetry of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt that it's definitely there's an art form, even to the negative. I guess it's just negative in a way. Yeah, I see what you guys are saying. What were you gonna say over there? I heard someone.
I was gonna say it depends what type of rap you listen to. Like nowadays, back in the days, they were telling the story and poetry. Like it's just now in our generation, like Lil Wayne and his like lyrics and his lines and stuff like that.
Like, for example, what artists are you guys talking about here? What's a different rap artist? I don't know rap too much. I'm a rock and roll artist myself,
Yeah.
so you guys got to inform me on what's going on,
Like if you listen to Lil Wayne or an Odd Future type, you're going to get more of the provocative, in-your-face type of vulgarity. But if you listen to someone like Lupe Fiasco or Macklemore, you're going to get a more poetic sense where it's telling a story and giving a message.
Right. Going with Macklemore. I love Macklemore.
Big fan.
There's just a few of his songs that are just you can tell they weren't written purely to sell to the young minds of teens. They were written to make a change, to get a point across. It's almost like he's part of a grassroots movement. Some of his songs, "Same Love," that's about gay marriage and the legalization of it. That's a great song. The lyrics of it are they make a lot of sense, and they really are sophisticated.
And if you take a song like "Awake" by Macklemore, it's
Right.
a lot about like reverse racism.
Right.
Like he feels like he can't say certain things because he's white and he doesn't want to take in the wrong way.
Right.
Like he didn't want to tweet R.I.P. Trayvon Martin because he didn't want to be just one white guy in a storm who just looked like he was covering himself.
Right. No, I absolutely agree. Macklemore definitely has a very poetic and activist
I don't even know
message.
what that is, actually.
Yeah,
Really?
neither do I.
Thrift shop?
Thrift Shop?
Oh.
I have no idea. What's that?
The song, it's a big, what would you consider it?
How does it go?
Slash hip hop.
Mike, you're the singer here.
How does it go, Mike?
It's just it says thrift shop a bunch of times, and it's I don't know, guys.
It's just a
come
song
on.
about thrift shopping.
It's literally a song about
when you
thrift
go in
shopping.
a thrift shop, you get stuff for like $3, $2, 99 cents.
And I actually heard an interview with Macklemore. That's not one of his favorite songs that he made because it is more pop. It is appealing to the masses. That's usually
Well, it's the
not.
hit song. Nobody
Right.
ever likes their hit song.
Right.
It's like the pop one that they make you do. Did he even write it?
Yeah.
He wrote it?
I believe he did write that.
Hmm.
He and Ryan Lewis did it, and no, that's not the style I get from him. But you got to throw one of those out there to sell, which really brings us to what sells now. What is it about sex and drugs that appeals to us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
is it really the right message,
Right. No,
I mean, there's always been a bit of sex sells in music, but I
Right.
think that some artists are definitely taking it a little bit overboard.
Yeah, they
yeah.
are today.
To me, like let's say Nicki Minaj, I know who she is. I think that's a little overboard. You can call it art, but I mean, I don't know. Is there a line to draw? Is the question.
There should be, but there isn't.
but there can't be a line to draw. I'll tell you why. Because we have the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech. Yeah?
Freedom of speech, and it's there, and it's not going anywhere. It's just a matter of morals. Would you put this out there? Would you put your name on the? And we have Thrift Shop right now.
Walk into the club like, what up?
I've never heard that in my whole entire life. Was it like a club hit or?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I usually know like club hits. I do go out, but.
No,
that
you
was
turn
the
on
radio?
92.3, and this is what will most likely play a few times. in
When
the
was
next-
this a hit? Where have I been?
Last year. It came out in 2012. like,
Yeah, it
in
came
the
out
summer.
last year.
In the summer,
Was it
right?
a summer song?
I think it was a summer song.
More towards the end of the year, kind of.
Yeah, it just got big though a few months ago, and it is dying down now because I don't
Yeah.
hear it as often on the radio anymore. That's actually a good way to tell what's hot and what's not, because you ever turn on the radio and every hour you hear the same song like 4 times. It's the worst. But it is dying down. No, but it's songs like that, and there is profanity in that song. And it sells, yes, but can you ban that kind of music? No.
Yeah, you really can't ban anything. I
You
mean,
can't, right.
I think that they could just, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about this. Art is always going to be art and
Right.
its expression.
Right.
And so even if it's about vulgar things, you really can't shut people down and say that it's not art. Who
No.
are you to say that this is art, this is not art? It's always that argument.
Right.
Yet, yes, maybe, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, what do you guys think about that? I mean, you really can't stop
Yeah.
or say what is art.
No, you cannot. That's a lawsuit looking to happen. But like I was saying, it's really, are you okay with having your name on that album that are you okay
You mean
with,
as an artist?
Right, as an artist, are you okay with putting out that kind of subject matter
And knowing that it's affecting, let's say, teens. Okay, that's a great question, actually.
Yeah, but do you value what you're putting out as an artist against the paycheck you're getting for
That's-
what you're putting out?
That's
Right.
also another issue of it.
That's the big thing now. I've seen almost the evolution of Lil Wayne. Oh my goodness, from Carter 1 to I Am Not a Human Being 2, the sequel. And my goodness, his style has changed a lot.
It
You can-
really has.
Based on money is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Liz?
Yeah.
based
Sort
on
of selling
whatever-
out, really?
Yeah. And hey, I'm a Carter 1 and Carter 2 fan. I'm not going to lie. There's profanity in it, but there was something raw about it.
Yeah.
There was something pure. There was something beyond money. It was just a story.
Expression, yeah.
Right. It was expression.
I
And
mean, I think, don't you think that there's a line still to draw? I mean, as an artist, that's a whole nother perspective. I think it does feel a little strange, to be like, okay, well, I know that what I'm saying here might affect these children or kids. I've thought about it in my music, There's a song that says, light me a cigarette, pour me a beer. I think about that when I'm going to film this video. Do I really want to promote cigarette smoking? Because I don't really like that, but that's the way the song was written. So it's a dilemma,
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I think other artists definitely feel it, but in a way you can't, I don't think that you can really shut yourself down to the likes of everyone, because then you'd have to, then you wouldn't be an artist. You kind of got to just express in general.
Right. No, I see exactly what you're saying.
People just have to know not to take everything serious and literal. I
Right.
think that if art had that kind of front, like, okay, you can't show anything on TV anymore. I mean, you don't even see people smoking anymore or anything like that. I mean, it's
No.
getting
Yeah.
that serious. Pretty soon we won't be able to show anything.
Right.
That's real.
But the real thing is, and we have a group of teens here, how affected are we and influenced are we by the music we listen to? That's the thing. let's go around here. Sean.
Well, the music that I listen to personally has always been about giving me a better experience and a better perspective. So personally, I always have, I always take positives out of music because that's what I came in to take. And when I'm not trying to learn something or to take advantage of it, I listen to country music, which so very little has profanity or vulgarity or things of that nature. Right. And country music has kind of thrived, even without having to use like such vulgar terms. I just looked the other day. There's 5 songs in the iTunes top 20.
Wow.
Of all genres. So it's really surging.
Wow. See, that's the attitude you have to approach. You got to go in with a positive attitude and look for something positive out of it. Kayla, what kind of music do you listen to, and what do you get out of it?
I do listen to vulgar music and all that, but I guess it depends on the person, like how it'll affect them. Like I personally like the music.
Okay. Yeah.
Some.
Okay.
But do you take it seriously, like to the point where, okay, the song is saying this, I'm gonna go out and do that now? I mean, or you just understand that it's just music, entertainment?
No, I understand that it's just entertainment. Like I wouldn't follow anything.
Okay. Okay, we'll give it. Bria, what do you get at? What do you listen to? Let's. What are you really into?
I'm into like underground type of music. Okay. I love hip hop. Like I always love hip hop and stuff, but I don't listen to like the lyrics sometimes. I only listen to the beat and how it sounds.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes like when I listen to a song, like I'll pay attention to the lyrics only if it makes sense to me.
Right.
So that's why I mainly listen to music to the way it sounds and like how does it like go and stuff.
Right, that's very understandable too. I can relate to you on that. I don't always listen to all the lyrics. An example, there are some Drake songs that I find melodically appealing.
Yeah. I
sit down and I listen to what he's saying, and it's absolute garbage.
Same here.
I mean, a lot of what Drake, sometimes the things that comes out of his mouth are like, did you just do that while you were on the toilet? Like, did someone give you a pad and a pencil and you had to write a song? He doesn't write actually some of his songs, but
I know.
I mean, but some of them do sound good.
Yeah.
He sings and some of them sing. So when I say that, if you see a live concert of him, he doesn't sound like that at all. Obviously, there's some a tune-up going on with his voice, but some things just sound better. Julia.
I listen to pretty decent music, but I also listen to Trey Songz and Chris Brown and Drake.
Ooh,
and
love Trey Songz.
Trey Songz is great. Yeah.
And I don't take any of their lyrics seriously. Like, I'll do what I want, but if I want to. But other than that, it's just music, entertainment,
and
something to listen to when you're not bored.
The other thing to think about is, as long as we choose to listen to the vulgar music, they're going to continue to put it out.
That's right.
If we all decide to listen to music of substance, then they're going to put out more music of substance. But people don't attract to that. So we're going to still get what we're hearing right now because we want what we're hearing right now.
Well, do you think that maybe teens kind of are more attracted to rebellion because it's that part of your life?
Yeah.
It's that time in your life where you start rebelling a little bit. Right. I mean, is that fair to say that maybe?
Yeah, of course. That's what we're into.
You're into rebelling.
Whether we know it or not, subconsciously, our parents or whoever says black, we say white. That's just the way it is.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just the way that kids want to be, and they need that energy, that raw.
Right.
And it's not just our generation. You saw it in the Woodstock generation. Their parents told them not to listen to rock and roll and, wear short skirts and do that, and they decided to do that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's happened every generation. I think that there's always a kind of music that does that, I listen to 80s rock, for example. That's similar, same thing. I mean, they're talking about, lots of crazy things like sex, drugs, rock and roll, groupies. I mean, that's not exactly something your parents want your kid to, get into.
Right, aspire to be.
it was attractive to me, for example, like the lifestyle. Yet when I do my own stuff, I'm not sure that I would want to send out that message, because I know so many things are happening now, especially in this country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't you ever think about that? Like, I mean, how can we not contribute towards all these fatal things that are going on, like school shootings and things like this? I mean, do you think that has anything to do with music?
Absolutely. The difference now, I think, though, is, and there was some, flat out profanity in older music, 80s, 70s, 60s. But I think when you listen to music now, the profanity and the demeaning view towards women and the language, it's just out there. It's not innuendo anymore. Yeah, a lot of times there was sex in music, but it wasn't out there in the language that's used today. Now it's just so direct. Now that's what a whole song is based around, and I mean, they're not even using very advanced words to describe. I've heard better exploits than what are being used now. I don't want to say that there's a degree of how sophisticated exploits are, but the ones that we're using now are just ridiculous.
Like,
Very ridiculous.
can you give me an example?
Oh
like,
God. Come
you
on,
know the
guys.
song "Bands Make Her Dance"? That song is a great example of like what Mike just said. It's disrespects females, and it's sad because a lot of females sing that song and they feel like, it's not that good feeling. And I'm just listening to that song and I'm just like, that's inappropriate, and they're making fun of us, and they're like, it's terrible.
You're saying that females are singing the song, so they're joining in on the making fun of their own kind, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the guy, it was a rapper who sings that song, and he's just like disrespecting us females, talking about us in the most disrespectful way, and everybody's like singing that song, and just like, it's catchy, but it's a terrible song against females, and
Absolutely.
I don't approve of that at all. Like, I don't know.
It's really objectifying women,
Right.
as not people, but as objects to be owned.
Right. And used for sex. You ever hear Lil Wayne's song, "Every Girl"?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That
song did not make any sense.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And that's the difference, I think, between now and back then is yes, there was always sex and drugs and things in music. But now it just doesn't make sense. Now it's just there because people are running out of ideas.
So they're just like exploiting and
Right.
going over. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. There's no more story around it now. It's just, hey, we're just going to throw out a couple words.
We're just going to demean
Right.
in general.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been an outbreak over the last, 6 months or so, or maybe a year, of just twerking.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Ladies.
Yeah, someone informed me what's twerking.
Anybody else?
Please.
Neither me nor Mike want to say this.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Right, yeah, you could say it.
Butt movement.
Yeah, usually on the guys,
Okay, so
yeah.
you're saying in videos, you're saying?
Yeah,
in
in videos.
and now, I mean, I go onto
They-
Facebook
Oh
and I
my
see
God.
videos of girls twerking. Like they
Younger
made,
than me,
Yeah,
and I'm
they're-
17, and these
Right.
girls are like,
On
there's a
the
10-year-old like twerking.
practicing
I'm just like,
how to twerk on like a 7-year-old boy on inanimate
Whoa,
objects.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
It's bad. It's really bad.
It's disgusting.
And
It's a
and
bit much, let's say.
right. And it's these kind of moves that and you do see them in music. I mean, gosh.
What
do
would you guys do? Let me ask you guys a question. What would you guys do if you guys were artists and you had the decision to make, like, you're gonna write a certain kind of music? What would you target? What kind of audience? What would be your message if you had one? Like, let's just start, Julia, what would you do?
If I was an artist and I had write a song.
Well, just in general, if you were an artist, what kind of message would you like to send out in general? Not only just to kids, because your music is going to be, if you're, let's say, top 40, you're going to be listened to by adults and children, all kinds of different ages, But what would you feel comfortable with as an artist, knowing how much it affects teens?
I would encourage people to be successful and just not give up on whatever they want to do.
So more of like a spiritual kind of like, in a sense, you mean? Like,
just for them to believe in themselves.
Yeah,
that
like,
kind of
okay.
stuff.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
That's very cool, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I mean, would you promote, let's say, drugs or things like this? I mean, do you think, would you do that? Like, if...
I wouldn't promote it, but...
But would you...
Sing about it.
Would you sing about it?
I don't know. I'm not in that position. I can't sing.
She's like, well, it depends on what...
I can't sing, guys, so...
Right. No, but that's the problem, too, especially with the debate over whether you think weed is should be a drug or not. I mean, that always shows up in music.
What do you mean, whether it should be a drug or not?
Oh, there's a big...
Legal, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whether, I mean, it is a drug. I consider alcohol a drug.
I mean, would you guys consider what your doctor gives you a drug? I mean, that's still considered a drug.
Right.
There are people still taking those, selling, pills your doctors give you. And, I mean, there's a definite... That's another conversation, a good topic for another show.
For another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but...
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I did kind of cut you off.
I forgot.
We were talking about... We were talking about the proper definition of a drug, I think.
Oh, yeah. But, like, the thing is, would you incorporate that kind of, like a drug like that into your music, knowing that it's a lot of people think it's debatable whether or not it is a drug, whether it should not be classified as a drug, and like you said, you couldn't give us an answer whether or not you would have like marijuana use in your songs or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's and I think that all comes down to the argument whether you think it's a drug or not, or
you know what it is? It's just that it's very blunt nowadays. Drugs have always been a part of music, but they used to be a little more discreet about it. Like a kid could listen to the song Puff the Magic Dragon, for example.
Or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then so they would think about it in a different way. And maybe that's what we got to kind of come back to. I think being a little blunt and rude about it it's a bit much. I mean, we are living in the future, but what do you guys think?
No, I think you're exactly right. Getting back to music the way it was back then, there was more innuendo. It was more suggested.
Totally.
Now it's just straight out there, Though, I mean, there are songs out there, but I don't hear as many promoting hard drugs. I don't hear, sat down, snorted a line of coke and said, hey, they are out there. But I hear more songs with recreational marijuana use, which,
And things like syrup.
Syrup, right.
Codeine.
That whole new
Yeah.
thing. What is that? Can
That's
you guys
a
tell me
new
what's going
thing.
on with that?
It started down south, like near Texas. It's called Purple Drink. It's like with Jolly Ranchers, cough syrup, medicine,
And Sprite.
and Sprite.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can get this at the drugstore is what you're telling me.
Basically.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, actually,
What does it do? I don't understand.
It just gets you really high. It's just high and drunk mixed together.
yeah.
So you're saying you're hearing a lot about this in songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ASAP Rocky, ASAP, I think their name is. Yeah, they have a song based on that. You could tell that they're talking about that. It's
But do they straight out say it, or you can just tell?
No, you could just tell because of the lyrics in the song. They're basically talking about weed, kush, and codeine, and all that stuff.
And
Yeah.
if you watch a Lil Wayne music video, he's blatantly drinking. He'll show you the cup filled with codeine and just start chugging it.
Yeah, I think that's a bit much.
Right.
I mean, if people are seeing this and kids are seeing this, I mean, you got to kind of be careful. As an artist in today's time period, I think we're well aware of what can happen.
Yeah.
And you don't want, I mean, how would you feel as an artist knowing that some kids have passed away from being ridiculous, I think that I would feel awful. And that's not the kind of thing, as an artist, you have an impact, is what I'm saying.
And getting back to Macklemore for 1 second, he has a song Other Side, which is about people may listen to this and they think, oh, this isn't very true, kids aren't affected by this. The whole song is about how Macklemore growing up, him and his friends just looked up to Lil Wayne and how they listened to his mixtapes and his albums and they wanted to be just like him. And so they drank codeine and they smoked weed and they did all this and He's lost 4 friends because of codeine use.
That's ridiculous. That's just.
And that's all just from the influence of what this rapper had on Macklemore as a child.
Right. Absolutely. And now drugstores and pharmacies are cracking down on this. You won't be able to get it on shelves anymore. I know in Jersey, if you go into like Rite Aid or any pharmacy, you can't get this over the counter. You have to go up to the pharmacist and ask them for it. You have to be over 18 now. Because
show your ID probably.
Right.
Like Claritin D does that. And that's an allergy medication.
Right. And that's what they're... And it's not just codeine. It's all of these... anything... I don't know. It's getting bad. Anything that could give you any kind of high, and I use that term loosely because a lot of people mistake, just being dizzy for a high. Anything that takes them away or makes
from reality.
Right, from reality. Yeah. I know a lot of people, they get like the whipped cream cans and they suck in the CO2. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
wow.
I think that artists in general, that's kind of one thing I'm sick and tired of seeing and hearing. Artists and musicians are allowed to be these far out individuals who are just drug addicts, and everyone accepts it. And I think that needs to change. It's like, just because you're an art, maybe there's not enough outlets for artists. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know why it's promoted. Like, oh, cool. He just walked in, he's stoned, and, he's about to perform. I kind of think that that's a cop-out. And we're getting into the future. I think things do need to change. And artists should respect, the impact that they have. That's my opinion.
Right.
I mean...
No, I agree. And when I sit down and I think about it, I say, don't these guys have any other ideas?
Besides drugs, sex, and violence?
Or is this it?
Yeah.
Is this what we've come to? Have all the ideas been thrown out the window? Are they all used? Have we just come down to our most barbaric, needs, sex, and things like that? But,
It's pretty simplistic, and that's what I like. Julia, what you said was what you would do is talk about influential things, like how you got there, all the hard work you put into it. It doesn't have to be corny. You could be a little bit rugged, but I mean, it's getting a little point. Like you said, it's barbaric. It's not interesting to me. I never liked a lot of hip hop because of that, because I just didn't. That's why I'm like in the 80s music. I was like living in the 90s, but I hated a lot of that music.
Right.
So.
And to me, it almost seems like the easy way out to make a song about that kind of stuff. Because anyone can do that. Whether you agree or not, you could sit down and throw a couple verses with broken English, awful English in it, about sex and drugs. You can do it. But it takes more time and more effort to sit down, think of an idea you want to write about, you want to sing about, make some verses that really mean something without appealing to the basic side of man, without appealing just to id. And that's what I think it comes down to.
I agree with you.
Right.
I think it's too, it's just ridiculous. I mean, what else is there to say?
Kayla, you're falling asleep here. Tell me, what do you think?
Wow.
About all of this? How do you feel about this surge of explicit music? I made it very general. It's nice and easy.
I think it's influential on the kids, but I mean, it's your own decision whether or not you want to follow it. Like, if I was an artist making music,
okay, there we go.
I wouldn't stop singing about drugs and money. If I promote it, that would reflect on me. If I do that, then I would sing about it. That's what they do. They'll sing about it. That's their life,
Oh, so you're saying that they're singing about it because that's what they do, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like Lil Wayne, he was in the hospital a few weeks ago or something because of that cough medicine. And so, I mean, I don't know. That just
well, you don't think that
them.
basically they would just sing about it without doing it? You're saying that this is that when people sing about these things that you're thinking they're doing it for real in the real life. They're not just performing out of the blue, is what you're saying?
Mostly. Yeah.
Besides the drug aspect of that cough drink, if you just took that out, it actually kind of sounds tasty. This cherry kind of Sprite drink. I mean, that does kind of sound good, but you don't need drugs in it. You definitely don't need something that'll make you lose brain cells, and that's what it does. something I do want to go with really quick. I know we have the show going on, but authorities have arrested a suspect in the Boston marathon bombing. I just want to get that out there. It's breaking news. We don't have any information on it. I don't know CNN or anybody doesn't know who it is. We don't have any names or any details regarding the suspect that was taken into custody, but arrest has been made. I just wanted to get that out there. You heard it here.
That's good.
Here we go.
I was attacked by a dragon.
And I just wanted to get back to one other thing you said earlier, Mike. No one's really talking about hard drugs anymore because the public has become so aware of meth and of coke and of heroin that rapping about it won't sell records. It'll make you look ignorant and stupid.
Right.
So I feel like we accept weed and cough syrup because they're not going to kill you necessarily.
Immediately.
No, but they will.
They will eventually, but it's not something
no, I mean, yeah, I've never heard of marijuana killing people, but, I mean, that's another, like we said, it's another topic. You know, your doctor's prescriptions. I mean, that kills a lot of people. I know people who've died over Xanax and, you know, Percocets.
Yep.
And it's a big, I mean, people sell these pills. They go to their doctor, they get prescriptions. I mean, I've seen it. It's still a drug.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think what it is, getting back to what Sean said, that's a great point. What they're not singing about these hard drugs where you could see immediate negative effects.
Yeah.
Like you can spot a heroin user. You can spot a cocaine user. A lot of them have the train tracks and stuff wherever they inject.
Cocaine users?
Heroin
users,
heroin.
yeah.
And
meth heads just look awful.
Right. And you can tell a user, especially a long-time user, you will see effects, negative effects, and you will see them rather quickly. But with these things,
like cough syrup, how do you tell someone's using cough syrup?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
you know,
you have no cough.
Right. I get a cough. I can use that once, and I'll be fine. But you won't see a negative effect. Quite on the contrary. But these things are still harmful. I think people really need to, and especially the artists, need to take that into consideration.
I agree, guys. Well, is there any last comments anyone wants to kind of throw in?
Kayla? Nothing? No? Okay. Wow.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. And our topic next week we still have to discuss. This has been Natasha Komis and my panel, Julia, Kayla, Michael, Sean, and Bria. Tune in.
All right, guys.
See you guys.
Kayla, if you got any more into it, I don't know what you would have to do. We would just make